they come back from 0-3, man. I mean, they won last night. Okay, they won big too. But I think one more win, maybe. I think they can win one in Boston, but I don't see it going past that.
Yeah, so last night was, in my opinion, it was a gentleman's gift from the Celtics. They let Dallas do whatever the hell they wanted. I watched most of the game. It wasn't that typical Boston game. Like, they could have turned it up. They're going
Yeah,
to bring it back to their fans. They've let their fans down in numerous playoffs before. I think they're going to want to take it back home and win tonight. And I didn't predict Boston to win in five whatsoever.
yeah,
Okay, I said it was going seven, and I thought Dallas was going to win.
yeah.
Uh, but I mean, Mike, when you give your answer, your opinion here, is it still cool in sports to have gentlemen's games like last night? It was so obvious that Boston was not trying to win that much.
Right.
Um, to answer your first question, I don't um, I don't see it happening. And to kind of touch on what D minus was saying, no team has ever come back from 3-0. The Cleveland Cavaliers beat Golden State when they were down 3-1. That was
Yeah.
LeBron and Kyrie.
Right.
And they obviously came back and won that championship. I do like Luca a lot, and I like the Mavericks. It's very difficult for me to get to a place where I'm convinced that they could come back and get this win, largely because the games have been they haven't been blowouts per se, but they've been largely not very competitive. And so, I mean, you're talking about Boston's starting five, everyone being in double digits. You don't see that from a lot of teams. They play true team basketball, whereas Dallas is like, hey, Luka's on or Kyrie's on, or maybe a mixture of the two in one way. But I I I can't say that I'm very optimistic about it. Would I like it to happen? Yes. And then the gentleman's game. Um, I don't know if it's cool because it's all about egos nowadays. These young cats nowadays in professional sports. They're like, oh, you're letting me win. They take offense to it. So I don't know if it's as cool anymore. But I'm with you. I very much watched that game last night and saw that Boston was definitely not playing like Boston. So take that how you want, but that was not a real Celtics team last night.
Right.
In today's world, like you mentioned, these young cats. Let's just go down to like back to the Detroit days. Like if Detroit beat you at home, there was a fist fight. I'm cool with that. I don't mind fist fighting, but we don't fight that way anymore. So you got to also think like if you're Boston, do you want to win down in Dallas and
Right.
have to fight these people off? Because I mean, everybody's storming the court nowadays. D minus, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I agree with both of you guys. I think they wanted to close it at. I think they want to close it at home, but I think it might backfire on them a little bit because I know Boston is a choke team, man. I know it looks different this year. It do, granted, but Boston's known to choke the Tatum and the Brown right now, man. So I would have went on and played my game last night, and if I had Dallas by the throat, should have went on and closed it out. Don't play with them because you still have one of the best players in the NBA, which is Luka Doncic, and then you get Kyrie going. It can be a disaster, man. It could be. It possibly could be coming back from 3-0 to win if they keep playing around with these guys because I wouldn't play around with Doncic, man. The guy's just off the chain, man. So they should have closed it out, but don't play with them. Dallas might win the next game. If Dallas win the next game, it's going to be an interesting series, I think.
I'll tell you what. If Dallas goes up to Boston and wins this next game, if that was a gentleman's game, like I
Yeah,
saw it, man, that was a bad decision.
right.
That was a bad decision. I just know two things that happened that are factual. Luca and Kyrie did not score any more points than they did in the blowout that Boston beat them for Game 3. They scored almost. If you look at the line, they had almost the same line, same timeline, except for Luka fouled out with 4 minutes left, which that was a bad choice on Luka. If you've got 4 fouls, you shouldn't be in the paint trying to take a charge when you know you're the best player in the NBA. Mike, opinion?
Yeah, I look at it like this, right? You said that Luka and Kyrie's points were essentially the same, and they were. The big difference is that Luka finally got a taste of that LeBron James medicine, which is I'm doing everything and everyone else is doing nothing, And so the difference in this game was that the bench was actually making shots. Tim Hardaway Jr. was making shots, but yeah, and so that guy was like when he was, the last couple of games he was like 0 for 19 or something crazy like that.
Man,
but I agree with you. You want Luka's strength is his offensive capability. And so having him down there in the paint with 4 fouls doesn't really make a lot of sense. And so that's where Jason Kidd has to look at the other players and be like, hey, does anyone else have a pulse on this team? Is someone going to do something? But I will tell you though that this next game in Boston, which I believe is Monday, if Kyrie shows up and drops like 45, Boston's in trouble.
Boston's in a lot of trouble. I agree. And the thing is this, and I was cool with watching the gentleman's game, but I actually watched because I wasn't sure if they were going to allow the gentleman's game to happen. And this is why, if I'm Boston, I don't want to give Kyrie any kind of fuel to come back to Boston and mess me up. I got history here. D, you feel me?
Oh yeah, for sure. I definitely think that they should have closed it out. But hey, we'll see, man. Monday night is gonna be the tale of all signs, man. So good luck to them. I don't know, but we'll see.
I don't feel like the Dallas Mavericks have quite the Get Money Sports support that they have had prior to last week's show. I'm down. Look at all of us. We're trying to say, look, Luka's definitely the best player that's on the basketball court during this championship. Okay, I don't care how well Brown's playing. Luka's still the best player on the court in this championship. Okay. And Kyrie, man, you don't know when he's going to do what he's going to do, but it just makes sense story wise and sports and karma that he's going to go to Boston and fucking ball out. I never would have given him the chance to come back. Mike, close it out.
Yeah, like you were kind of hitting on there, like Kyrie's definitely the wild card, because Kyrie's that guy that could show up one day and I know in the earlier series he was much more of a facilitator and helping create offense and not really getting the points himself, but Kyrie has it inside of him to get 40, to get to close in on 50. He's got the talent all day long. But the story of this series has largely been no help from anyone outside of Luka and Kyrie.
Right.
And then the shots that they have been hitting just haven't been falling.
Right.
If they get some of these shots to fall, because Boston's going to get theirs, but these games should have been going down to the wire within 3 or 4 points of each other every game. And then game 3 should have been won by Dallas. That would have drastically turned the series around. You're talking about 2-1 instead of 3-0 before going into last night. That's a different series at that point. Right. And so everyone's, writing Dallas off, expecting them to lose. So I'll be rooting for them. I hope they win. I'm tired of seeing. I know Boston hasn't won in a long time, but I'm tired of seeing the historic teams win. The Bostons, the LAs, and all that stuff. So I'm down to see them lose and have Dallas hoist another one. So,
well, we'll find out about that. D-, Aaron Rodgers.
Well, we're going to have to talk about him.
Here we go. Here we go.
So Aaron Rodgers not showing a mandatory minute count. Was that the right decision for him, for the Jets? And how should the Jets feel about this, man? Because you got to think about it. He was gone all last year, right? Which he was supportive of, the team. He was on the sideline cheering for him, everything. But how should the Jets feel about this? He's not reporting to mandatory mini camp. Shouldn't it be some type of bun? Trying to get everybody in line. Not even saying do the rest, but just do a walkthrough or something, man. I don't know, man. But is this the right decision for Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, man? How y'all feel about this? Because I feel that he should report. He should have reported. But then him and his coach can't be on the same page because his coach came and said, well, he's probably going to get fined for this. I'm like, if he was not showing up, then what a communication at, man. So I don't know, man. How y'all feel about this, man? Because I'm not sure about this, man. Jets already starting off in the wrong direction, I think. So what really you guys thoughts on this? Him not showing up to minicamp and the coach not even knowing about it, I'm guessing, and saying he's probably gonna get a fine, but then came back and said we talking all that stuff. I mean, I don't know. What y'all thoughts on this?
Okay, so as the oldest one here, I've seen minicamp the longest. Okay. I'm not sure why we all flip out when minicamp violations happen, but we do. I do. I still do. Like, I knew this was going to happen, and I still flip out. I knew Rodgers wasn't going to show up. I was pretty sure that I knew a couple other people weren't going to show up, and they didn't. And when they, I don't know why we flip out about this. It's kind of like, and we didn't have this in the story, so I'm going to elaborate to this. There's penalties in the NFL for doing shit, okay? Tampering is one of them. And I think this story goes along with the minicamp in a way when you relate it to it. Tampering is illegal in the NFL. Not reporting the minicamp is illegal in the NFL. These fuckers have so much money that they're like, fuck it, I'm going to stay home with the kids tonight. Which is awesome. Stay home with your kids, okay? But they've got so much money when they get this fine, they don't give a shit. And it proved out this year when the Atlanta Falcons got busted for 3 counts of tampering, and they were only fined $250,000 in a 5th-round draft pick. If you go back and look at the other 4 counts that the NFL have found, last year the Dolphins were fined $1.5 million for tampering with Tom Brady. Okay? The penalties are not going to weigh out to what they are. Like, how do you make Aaron Rodgers come to minicamp? What's the penalty? It's not the same for the middle linebacker that's in his 2nd year. You could actually penalize him $25,000, and his wife is going to kick his ass. Mike.
This is really funny because where you said, why are we talking about it and stuff like that? But this is largely a non-story to me because, who are we talking about here? We're talking about Aaron Rodgers, a 40-year-old, he has seen everything that you would need him to see on a football field. He knows the playbook backwards and forwards. No alignment, no scheme, no anything that a defensive coordinator can put out there is going to shock him. And if it somehow does, it is only going to happen one time before he learns from it and has the appropriate check or audible for it. And so him not being there really isn't that big of a deal to me. None of that matters to me. So I guess we're in that point of the off season right before training camp where people are looking for things to talk about. So I guess this is something to talk about, but Aaron Rodgers has it all figured out. I'd be willing to bet that the Jets don't fine him at all because most teams don't even fine their players. They just say they could be subject to fine, but I doubt it happens. He knows how to play the position at a high level, and I'll leave it at that.
Well, you know what? We got to start asking some of our former football players like Ken, like, if you don't report to minicamp, do you actually get fined? And how is the fine based? T-minus?
Well, I think the problem I got with it is he was gone all last year. So I think the chemistry of the team, I think he should have been there to report there. And I know Aaron Rodgers haven't reported to camp in a while. Even when he was in Green Bay, he didn't do the camp thing, which we get that. But now you're on a team now that you got hurt last year. Okay, he was gone for the year. But now you got a team that's already ready-made to get to the playoffs, which they are a good team. But I was thinking that the chemistry-wise, reporting to camp would mean a little something for the Jets, just to be there, but not just a short period. That's why I kind of like have a problem with it a little bit of the chemistry of it.
I understand that. I think the better part of it is just the way we as sports fans we're going, man, I wonder why don't he show up for minicamp? And then you think about all the stuff like Mike made some good points. Aaron Rodgers is 40 years old, coming off an injury.
Right.
Should he report to minicamp? Yes, but I don't think he should be on the field at all.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not risking him slipping on a piece of grass and our season's over. I'm not risking that for minicamp. Okay. But I do think he should have been there to watch the team gelling. You know, I'm with that. Right. Yeah, but there was no way under the earth. Like, let's just look at some people here. Let's put some names up there. Did Justin Jefferson report to minicamp on time?
No.
Okay.
He got his contract now, so I guess.
Okay, there you go. Okay. And let's go ahead and put some big things out there. Does Justin Jefferson have a brand new quarterback?
Yeah.
Yes. He's never caught a pass from this guy. He's never seen this guy throw to him. I'm not saying that Jefferson's not great. I'm going to where you said chemistry.
Right.
Is his money more important, or should he have been on the fucking field with this new guy? Feel me, Mike?
Yeah, he just, you talked about staying home with your kids. Aaron Rodgers don't have any kids. So what's he staying home with? His girlfriend, his dog, like, you know what I mean? So I get what I get your point for chemistry purposes, and he did miss last year. He was there a lot, even though he was injured. But like I said, you got training camp coming up. He's going to be there he's going to be there on time for training camp. He's going to be there the whole time. Barring injury, he's going to be there the whole season. And the Jets, I think, shouldn't worry about it too much, just because it's going to be something that, when he's there, if he's playing, if he's healthy, they're going to be a much different team. Last year, they were still pretty good, but you could tell that defense was getting gassed out because they were on the field all the time. They lost games they wouldn't have lost if Aaron Rodgers was in the game. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm ready for football season, so bring it on.
Facts. Do you mind want to close it out?
Yeah, I agree with you guys, man. But yeah, it is a non-stir because we already know about it. In fact, I was just thinking about the chemistry part of it, and then the coach went on communication with him and the coach. That's already a red flag as well. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what the chemistry is with him and what's his name, Salib.
Raheem Salib.
Yeah, so that's in itself is a question mark now, because how you not communicate to your coach, or how the coach don't communicate with you. So I don't know, man. So we'll see what the Jets gonna be like.
I mean, that's an interesting thing there too throughout the year that I'm watching about the Jets with the coaching thing.
Right.
Is Aaron Rodgers coaching the offense, or should he be? I mean, like I picture him like, no disrespect to Todd Bowles, great coach, but when he went down to Tampa Bay, don't tell me that Tom wasn't doing most of that coaching on the offensive side. Oh, yeah. And he's earned it. And so has Rodgers. Like Mike commented earlier, Rodgers knows that playbook inside and out. And I bet you Rodgers has added some plays to Salib's playbook. And why wouldn't you? He's a great mind.
Right.
Next story coming up. What is Kunta? He's in
Kansas.
He's in Kansas.
I think it's Kansas or somewhere like that, with a family reunion or something like that. With his wife's side family reunion.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, if that man's got red slippers on right now, click your ass back to the show, bro. So we're gonna Kunta turn in his story. We're gonna let Mike have the lead here. Mike, go ahead and tell us what's going on.
All right, the Big 12 is considering private equity investments of up to $1 billion for as much as 20% of the conference. How will this affect the rest of the conferences if this deal is made? This one's interesting because I think this has largely been uncharted territory as far as the conferences go at this point. Obviously, you saw the Pac-12 dissolved and a bunch of teams have shifted over to different conferences and kind of built this new Big Ten that's got a bunch of schools in it. The Big 12 still holding strong, but I actually really like this move for the Big 12 because they're the first ones to entertain the thought of it. And if you look at the Big 12, there's some schools in the Big 12, specifically like the Texas schools that have a large alumni following with big pockets. I know specifically the University of Texas and Texas A&M and Oklahoma. There's a lot of alumni that went there that work in the for these big oil companies, so they got big pocketbooks and stuff like that. So I think it's a great idea if you're the first one to it. It doesn't help out the smaller conferences. I will say that, those weird, the WAC, the MAC, what are the other? I can't even think of the other conferences, but like certain conferences aren't really helping. So I think it's a great thing.
All right, so here's my throw in on this. Okay, number one, Allstate. I think you jumped too quick. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I know it's all about going first, but when you get done going first, you're going to find out that the division that you bought is not the best division. So
yeah,
there is no way this is not going to spread. And I disagree with Mike. The smaller conferences are going to benefit too when large companies like Allstate jump on the Big 12, which I'm not saying the Big 12 sucks. I'm not saying they suck. Let's get that straight. I'm just saying they're not one of the top threes. I'm going to say that much. Elaboration. The next thing that's going to happen is you're going to see the Colorado Buffalo Wild Wings.
You said Wild Wings.
yeah.
Watch it happen. Watch it happen. Teams will jump on this and companies will jump on this, and I cannot wait for this to hit the SEC. I cannot wait. D-minus.
I was just about to say that. Shouldn't they run this by the SEC first before the Big 12? I mean, like, come on, man. Like, that's the biggest it's the biggest conference out there. I mean, why not the SEC versus the Big 12? Like, SEC is there. Like, everybody's coming to the SEC to play. It's going to be one conference soon, and it's going to be the SEC conference. So, I would run that by. You don't think so, DC?
Not now. Not now. Before this happened, yes.
Yeah.
Because now Allstate has bought a conference. And how many conferences are there? Let's just say I'll guess at 20.
20, yeah.
Okay, think about these multi-billionaire companies. You got Allstate jumped in. So any company that's like Allstate, like Rolex could buy a division. And you know what you could do with Rolexes and college kids?
That might be
exactly.
I think that's a bad idea. Rolex is that's a bad idea for the college kids.
I'm just saying, if you've got college kids that are dressing and doing this, and you've got ambassadors for your stuff,
right?
Who at Texas?
I would have also went Big 10 and before I went Big 12.
Me too.
Just because I'm not saying the conference is better. It probably is, but all I'm saying is this right here. With the amount of teams that are inside of the Big 10 and you're buying equity through the Big 10 and not through the university,
facts.
You're let's say it's 20%. Your 20% is now so much more valuable because there's more heads at the table for that 20%. So that 20% when you transfer it over to dollars becomes a higher dollar than it is in like the Big 12, because like look at the Big 12, right? How many teams are there in the Big 12 that you would consider contenders? Texas, Oklahoma. Who else are you throwing up there that's coming from the Big 12? There's not really anybody else.
Maybe Nebraska.
But you're not throwing. It's not like the SEC where you can name 5 or 6 teams. It's not like the Big 10 where you can name a bunch of teams. And so the Big 12 is kind of like weak as far as that goes. And I would have rocked with the Big 10 before I went with the Big 12.
Yeah, I just think Allstate jumped too fast. Go ahead, D.
And just what you said, Mike, those 2 teams you named is now part of SEC now. So those 2 teams is not even in the Big 12 anymore.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Forgot
so
about
that's
that.
even worse. It makes your point more valid now because now
Yeah.
you don't have nobody in the Big
Yeah.
12 actually.
Like I said, I think Allstate decided they wanted to go first. I just think they jumped too fast because the other companies now all the other companies get a free look in. Like I'll tell you who's watching the most, and everybody's gonna laugh because it's a fast food chain. Chick-fil-A is gonna buy SEC. Watch. I'm telling you. When Chick-fil-A jumped in and got the Peach Bowl, everybody's like, oh my God, Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, okay, all these different things. Watch Chick-fil-A jump in and buy the SEC.
But this is also one of those things, when you look at it, it's kind of like contracts in professional sports, right? The first guy that gets paid, he sets the market. And then when the next guy negotiates, if he feels like he's a better athlete than the guy that got paid before him, his statement to his agent is always, I need to make more than that guy because I'm better than him.
Facts.
So if the Big Ten gets a deal or the SEC gets a deal and the deal is $1 billion for the Big 12, what is the Big Ten going to get? What is the SEC going to get after that? You know, like that's not the strongest conference. So when you go to a powerhouse conference like the SEC, that $1 billion now becomes like 1.3 or 1.4 or $1.5 billion. You don't know what that's going to look like.
I think it stays the same, but the percentage goes up. I'm with you though. I don't think the money will change. I think the percentage of your ownership in the conference will change. Yeah. Next story here. I'm going to keep this in a big screen here. Diana Taurasi and Brittany Griner have been selected to Team USA. Even though Taurasi already has 5 gold medals and Griner just came back from injury and has had bad history overseas, do you think these two women should be on the team? I'm going to elaborate, number one, on Griner. She just stumps the hell out of me. I do not understand why you'd even want to go overseas again. Okay? Okay? Let's just get this straight. You went overseas, and I know what you had and what you didn't have, and I hope you're not stupid enough to do that shit again, but you don't think people are watching you to detain you again? We have to remember how police work. We can detain you until you prove yourself innocent. There's no way that you're going to go overseas and not get detained again. I'm just, Brittany, please be smart. As far as Taurasi goes, I went and I researched this a lot. If you look at the WNBA stars right now, who else is going to lead the team? Diana Taurasi's leadership here is why she's going. I have no problem with that. And I think Tina Charles from Seattle needs to go for the center. I don't think Brittany Griner should go. She's having a way better year. She's healthy. She's been before. She's got 3 gold medals. She's worked with Taurasi. If you're going over there to win a medal, and it's not about marketing and Caitlin Clark and Asia Wilson, fuck that shit. I'm tired of this marketing shit. I am Team USA. I want to win. I want to win right now. I want to come back with gold medals. Put the best team on the floor. Don't worry about your marketing shit. D-, elaborate.
I absolutely agree. Diana Taurasi should go. She's still putting up buckets. She's still putting up 40 points at the age she at right now. Brittany Griner, I'm not so convinced on that one. I agree with you on that one. I like Charles as well. I thought that she should have went. And I don't know, man. It's crazy, man, because everybody getting slack for this because everybody want Caitlin Clark to go there. But I'm like, come on, man. These women been training for this for like 3-4 years. They've been training for this. So how you can insert her into this conversation, which makes no sense to me at all. But I do agree with that. Diana Taurasi should go, and I agree absolutely that Charles should go. But Griner, I'm not really sold on that. She hasn't proved anything. So, yeah, I agree with that.
Mike?
Yeah, that was going to be with Griner. That was going to be my point, is that she really hasn't proved anything, coming back off of injury and stuff like that. And even when she wasn't injured, yes, she's bigger and taller than most of the people she comes up against. But like, if you're that size, I would feel like you would be a lot more dominant. But I'll say this, as someone who has just came back from international travel,
right,
those people in airports and all that stuff, they do not play any games. If I'm Brittany Griner and I make the decision that I'm going overseas and I'm going to go try and win a gold medal for the United States, this is what I'm doing. I'm as button up as they come. I'm not bringing anything over. You know, like when you go to the airport, they say you can't have a bottle that has more than 3.2 ounces in it. I'm not bringing anything remotely close to that. I'm not bringing anything because what did she get busted for last time? It was like a weed pen or a weed cartridge or something like that.
Yeah, I actually have right here. It's right here.
Yeah.
It was completely legal in America. It was completely legal here, but not there.
Yeah. Well, you listen, Travel 101 says, okay, what is legal in other places? I'm not worried about America. I'm cool getting out of America, but when I got to lay over somewhere else or I got to go through security again somewhere else, I'm going to be in trouble, okay? So if she's going to go, she better be as button up as they come. And so, but I'm with you, DC. In my mind, I'm like, bro, why would I even want to go?
I don't want to go.
Yeah, I'm leaving it. I'm leaving all that alone.
Yeah, that's one thing about women that I think makes them stronger than men. Because this woman wants to go over there to prove a point. I'm a strong woman. I'm going to show you that I can do this. And I didn't do nothing wrong the first time. Fuck that. I'm a very strong man. I'm a very, very strong man. And I believe in everything that I believe in. I'm 100% in. But if I get detained overseas and my country can't get me out, you can't. Right. You can't do anything. And you're showing pictures of me going back and forth to jail. And you can't do anything. And now they start bargaining for me against fucking terrorists? No. I don't want any more of this. Fucking Brittany, write a book, girl. Just write a book and stay home. Don't take a chance. You don't think all these countries are watching? They can arrest you just because they think you might have one because you did it before. And then you have to prove, while you're in jail, by the way, you know how that worked last time, that you're not guilty. Oh, man, it's so stupid.
Yeah.
But, shout out to you, I guess.
Definitely when you're going back.
I can tell you what, if you go over and you come back and all those people are clapping because you came back, I will not be one of those people. I feel like you're making a very, very stupid decision right now.
Yeah, it'd be a while before I go back overseas. I can tell you that.
I would never go back.
Yeah.
My country was trying to think about bargaining to give a terrorist back to Russia to get a basketball player back. No disrespect. Please don't start writing emails. Or write them. I don't give a shit. Let's go to the next. Let's go to the next segment before we get in trouble here somehow. We haven't broken any rules yet. I'm working on the rules, man. I'm working on the rules because we're getting bigger, and I'm trying to do this right. But it's not, I'm not really good with following the rules, man. D-, what's the pay? Does anybody know what the pay is to go to the Olympics? It's not about money. It's about representing your country, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, what would motivate you as Brittany Griner to go back overseas?
Well, nothing motivates me. There's no motivation to that. I just wouldn't go. Like, no, I think, like I said, I think she's making a wrong decision. I don't think I would go back for that.
I can't even think of one thing. I can't even think of one thing.
No.
All right, this next segment is brought to you by Burn by Rocky Patel. Let's go. We can't get in trouble for that one. I own that one. Did you guys really know that song was written by a professional group and everything? The entrance song to the Chicago Bulls. Did you guys know that was an actual track by a professional group?
I did not.
No.
And the name of the group was the Alan Parsons Project, which is it's a big group. They actually wrote that for the Bulls. when they had their entrance coming in there for the stadium right there. I just didn't know it was a professional track, and I apologize. We're not going to use it no more. Right. Anyways, this segment is brought to you by Burn Baraka Patel, Atlanta, located in the Battery at Truist Park. Open daily from 4 to midnight, Friday and Saturday till 2 a.m. That place was lit last night. I'm going to tell you right now. I had 2 hours of free time between 1 hour between each show. I was in there the whole time. That place was lit last night.
Damn.
It was awesome. All right, so fill in the blanks. Dan Hurley's decision to stay at UConn was blank for the NBA and the Los Angeles Lakers. Mike.
Bad.
I'm listening.
It was bad because for the first time in a long time, one of the NBA's most historic and followed franchises didn't get their way.
Yeah.
They wanted to pluck this guy from college because he'd won back-to-back national championships. And I understand why they tried to do it, right? But it just made you realize that not everyone is the same, and it wasn't all about the money for him. You know, he's building something great at UConn right now, and he wants to see that through. And in a day where it's hard to trust people and it's hard to take them at their word, Dan Hurley proved that his word was more important to him than whatever dollar amount you were going to throw at him, because he probably sat in some living rooms and talked to parents and grandparents and said, hey, send your kid to UConn. He's a 5-star player. I'm going to be there. We're winning national championships and stuff like that. And in professional sports, you see this a lot. Guys jump from college to the NFL, or they jump from team to team, whatever the case may be, and those recruits are left hanging. And when a new coaching staff comes in, they might say, well, that's not my recruit, and they don't end up using that guy the way he would have been used when the previous regime was there. So I say it's bad. And I also say good on Dan Hurley for sticking to your word, because that means a lot more to me than it may mean to other people. But I really like the fact that he stuck to his guns on it.
Facts. D-.
It was good for UConn, but it wasn't so good for the Lakers. And it had to be. LeBron probably came to him and said, look, I'm not going to be here another year or two, so you might want to stay at UConn. I'm pretty sure him and LeBron talked. I'm not crazy. So I think that his decision was based on if LeBron going to stay another 3 or 4 years, whatever. But I'm pretty sure. But it was good for UConn, though. I like that. I like the call. I don't like the Lakers, so I don't care.
Yeah, I made this one eye-opening. I used to knew this girl in high school, and she thought she could have any man. And this is what reminds me of the Lakers. We can have whoever we want, man. Let's just go out and get whoever we want. And this girl came at me, and I was like, no. And she said, what? I said, no, just because I heard a rumor. You're coming at me because you think you can have me, and you can't. And she was like, that's where the Lakers are right now. They're like, oh, shit, what are we going to do? I don't think LeBron was involved in this Hurley thing at all. LeBron and JJ Redick have a podcast, and if you've watched it a couple times,
right,
dude, I think this has been set up. I think like when they gave that money to Hurley and they offered it to him, JJ went, "What the fuck is going on, man? I thought we laid this out, LeBron. I don't even like you." I bet you they had a conversation. I mean, we all know that podcast set up the next coach for the Lakers. I've been watching the podcast. It's a great podcast, by the way.
And before you go, if I was JJ Redick, now I got him by the balls. I'd be like,
fuck yeah.
Give me 6 years, $70 million. Like this gonna give him. That's what I want.
Facts. And then you know what's gonna happen? LeBron's gonna get Bronny and he's gonna stay a little longer. Or if you watch the podcast, LeBron and JJ have been building this inner thing. And now with the passing of Jerry West, God rest his soul, look what's going on. LeBron and JJ have got this core that they're going to try to take the Lakers to that, height again. Right. Anyway, Scotty Scheffler's 5th win this season at Murrayfield means he will finish blank this week at the U.S. Open. By the way, Scotty Scheffler, Nice throw, baby. Nice throw when you chucked that putter, baby. I knew you were a true white guy and God wasn't all the way in your soul because God doesn't let you throw putters, bro. I am so proud of you being a human being on national TV. I'm so proud of you. But you're going to come in 15th at the Open. D minus. Yeah, 15th. He's done. He is done.
I think that's a little bit too high, BC, because I thought he almost didn't make the cut. So I thought top 5. What I had down, I thought top 5, but now I say outside of 20.
Outside of 20. Okay, Mike.
I'll split the difference and I'll say somewhere around 17, 18 because I was watching Sports Center last night. I don't know if you guys caught it, but he hit that ball and it was dead center fairway, and then it just took a mean hook to the left and when it went over towards the trees. And I guess the microphones caught what he said because the guys on Sports Center said, "Hey, listen to what Scotty Scheffler said," and Scotty was like, "That is the worst golf shot I've ever hit," you know. And so I'm just like, okay. He wasn't the only one struggling, you know. Tiger had a few there that he had that one that he was chipping in, and it just went around the cup, you know, and then rolled out to the left, and he was like, oh, you know, I couldn't believe it. But you know, some of the names haven't really been playing that great, you know.
That's facts.
Those guys that are in the top 5, top 8 conversation, they haven't really been playing that great. I don't know if it's weather related. I know they were sweating like crazy. I saw that really they were sweating. Yeah. They were sweating heavy, so that probably had a little bit to do with it. But yeah, I'm guessing somewhere 17, 18.
Did you see the one shot where it was a 2-hop and hit the pin, and then it rolled 70 feet off the green and into the sand trap?
Yeah, I saw that one.
I mean, imagine that. You 2-hop to the pin, and it hits the pin, and then it rolls 70 feet across the fringe, across the grass, and into a sand trap. That's a bad day. Yeah. Tonight, in the I quit. I quit. I'm sorry, D minus. I tease wrestling a little bit because some of these storylines are not. They're childish. Okay, to me, tonight in the I quit match at the Clash of the Castle between Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles will be won by blank, and he will win by blank. Mike, I'm gonna let you go first here because I want D minus's answer last for sure.
You know, I've thought about this for a little bit. I don't see a way where Cody loses. But how will he win? Like, how can you win by anything other than I quit? You could be choked unconscious or something. Can that like, I just don't see Cody losing. It doesn't make any sense to me. So I would definitely give Cody the win. But do you want to put I quit? You know, because in wrestling they do this thing where, like, if you're a strong competitor, they don't want you to win just yet for the sake of the story or where your character's at and your development and stuff like that. So they have you lose, but they have you lose in what would be considered like a strong way, right? Someone interferes or you dominate and you just barely lose or whatever the case may be. But I don't think that matters with AJ Styles. He's like a 40-year-old. So I would give it to Cody. I don't know how. Maybe let's say he gets knocked unconscious or he starts bleeding and he bleeds too much and the ref calls it off.
All right. So this is what I got. I went to a wrestling forum and I read some comments until I found one that I think fits the story just from watching the Knockout Hour on Monday nights with D minus and Teddy TKO. I think AJ Styles is going to win this one, and this is what he's going to do. He's going to choke out Cody's wife. He's going to choke out Cody's wife, and Cody's going to have to say I quit to save his wife. D minus. By the way, shout out. Wait, I don't want to get fucked up. Shout out to TDK3314. That was his answer in that chat group, and I like that. D minus.
It's funny you said that because last I Quit match that I seen was Roman Reigns against Jay Uso, and the only way Jay Uso said I quit uh, was because he had his brother Jimmy Uso in a lock that he had to say, "Okay, I quit, I quit, I quit." So that made Reigns win the belt. I mean, retain the title. So yeah, I like that scenario that you said, DC. But I'm gonna go backwards with this. I think Cody's gonna win. I think he's gonna relinquish his belt right now. But I see AJ Styles saying I quit. I would have rather this been a 10 count fall thing, like you can't
Like
get
a last man standing or something.
I would love that better than the I quit thing. But I think Cody's gonna win by his finish moves. I think he probably do about 5 to 10 times, and he's gonna make AJ Styles say I quit.
All right. I'm actually going to watch. Robert Kraft, Dick, retiring Tom Brady's number 12 on the same night at the same time on primetime TV as the Boston Celtics were in the NBA playoffs was blank for the NBA. Make sure you listen to the question. Was blank for the NBA, D minus.
That was a dick move, like you just said. That was he want all the publicity for himself. I don't too much care for Robert Kraft, man. Like that was disrespectful. Disrespect for the NBA. I think it was. I think it was.
Mike?
I found myself feeling, I would put the word like curious in that blank because I don't think the NBA cared for it because, or sorry, not cared for it, but cared much about it because listen, if you are skipping the NBA finals to go watch Tom Brady's jersey retired, like you're not a real sports fan.
Right.
Like on top of that, Robert Kraft should have used his brain a little bit more and said, when is the right time to do this? If it were me, you know what I would have done it? I would have done it the night before the NFL kicked off on like a Saturday night or something like that. Or even if you did it before because we always kick off on like a Thursday night game. So if you did it the Wednesday night before, because then you're at least in football mode. We're weeks away from training camp even starting. And so having it this time of the year literally makes no sense to me. And if anyone that I know said, "Hey, I skipped watching the NBA Finals to watch Tom Brady's jersey being retired," and they weren't a diehard Pats fan, I would just be like, "You're an idiot. Like you don't like sports. Like bottom line, I'm not skipping the NBA Finals for Tom Brady's jersey retirement. He already won 6 Super Bowls. Who cares?"
And DC, before you give your answer, I didn't even know that the retirement thing was even happening. I didn't even know until like a couple of days. I'm like, oh, I ain't know his jersey got retired. I mean,
dude, same. I was right there. I was like, when did this happen?
Right, I didn't even know, man. Like crazy.
This was absolutely the word you're looking for. Is terrible for the NBA because if we all know when it comes to branding, you got the MLB, you got the NFL, you got the NBA. NBA's bottom. That's they're in third. Okay, we all know that. They're all fighting for when the NBA saw that national TV, I mean, these things all get advertised. Okay, it wasn't like he just went up there one day and said, "Hey, I'm going to do this." Okay, this is my complaint. New England's not very big. Okay, when it comes to states and capacity of people. Okay, you had the Boston Red Sox playing that night. You had the Boston Celtics playing that night. And now I know what you're going to say. Yeah, but they were on the road. But they were playing in your bars, in your taverns. You cost the NBA money by putting that out there. And I know you, Robert Kraft, you're a dick. We all know that. You did this on purpose to show the power of the NFL because they definitely lost numbers during those shows. I do agree with you guys. I'm not a Patriots fan. I live in Georgia. I didn't even know it fucking happened. I read it in the news. It said Tom Brady's number retired last night. I said, how the fuck did I miss that? Because I really would have watched that. If you got now let's just say you're a football fan. If you knew that game 3 of the finals was on and you already know that games 1 and 2 were blowouts. You can't change shit. You have to use the exact scenario. Are you watching the retirement of Tom Brady, which can only happen once? Let's say you have tickets to both. Are you going to the NBA Game 3 finals? Are you going to watch Tom Brady get retired? You don't even have to be a fan. I'm sorry. I'm going to that retirement party.
No, I'm going to the finals. No, I ain't studying that.
What if it was Terry Bradshaw? What if it was a person on your team?
I'm a Steelers fan, so you know I'm going to the Steelers thing. So
yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm going to go to the retirement. I'm not going to Brady's. I can't stand him. I'm just saying, if I have a retirement party of one of my players that I love on my team, I'm going to that instead of going to the NBA third game. Mike, Seahawks.
Yeah, I was gonna say Seahawks. when you put it in when it relates to my team,
yeah,
it would depend on who it was. Like if Russell Wilson came back and was like, "I'm retiring," I probably wouldn't go to the Russell Wilson thing if the NBA, if I had a chance to go to the finals. Right. But if Marshawn Lynch was having an official retirement, you know everyone's getting lit in there. I'm there.
Yeah. Okay. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying Robert Kraft made a bad decision inside of New England. Inside of the state, he showed the people, look, oh, you guys are Boston fans? Let me show you how much you're New England fans. You're Patriot fans. You're my fans. I'm going to retire Tom Brady's number the same night that the Red Sox and the Celtics are playing in the finals. You guys are going to come. And he packed the house. And he had great numbers on TV. I just didn't see it. Trevor Lawrence's new contract extension is blank at 5 more years for $275 million, with $200 million guaranteed, and $142 million of the $200 million was given to him when he signed it, and he got a $37.5 million signing bonus. There's a lot of fucking power in that pen. D-minus.
Golly. This was great for him, I guess, but, golly, he got a lot of – but I knew it was coming up, but I didn't think to this magnitude because he's a cool player, whatever, but he was one of my fantasy players last year. I kind of got pissed off at him a little bit, but I don't know if this kind of contract is going to open a lot of gates up for a lot of people. This is crazy. Crazy.
Well, I mean, the big thing is if the 5-year for $275, that's the exact contract Joe Burrow got. It's the exact same thing. But then when you get to the guarantees and the extra signings, that's what makes it bigger. I just think it's getting wider. Mike, my word was expected, just like you said, Mike.
Yeah.
My word is win-win. Win-win for a win for Jacksonville and a win for Trevor Lawrence because Trevor Lawrence gets good money. But it's a win for Jacksonville because what they're doing is they're betting on what Trevor Lawrence will be in the future. Yeah. People forget that his growth was a little bit stunted because they had Urban Meyer there for a little bit.
That's facts.
And it's a win for the front office because, like I said, they're betting on the future. But if he ends up being a top 5, top 8 quarterback, then this is great money 5 years down the road, 4 years down the road.
100%.
And the things with Trevor Lawrence that have been frustrating have not necessarily been like football IQ stuff or arm talent or any of that. It's been this last year he messed up his knee, then he messed up his ankle, and then he had a concussion, and he had a bunch of turnovers in the process. And so when you look at that, you're like, okay, well, that's not – if I'm Jacksonville, I'm going to say that's not going to last. It's not going to be like that every year. So let's give him this money, and we'll revisit this in 4 years and see what happens. So it's a win because he gets so much money up front, guaranteed money, signing bonus money, all that good stuff. And it's also a win because you're not paying these crazy – whatever Patrick Mahomes contract is, because people do that, like Dak Prescott gets dumb money, and Dak Prescott's barely a top 15 quarterback, and he gets dumb money like he's up there on a Patrick Mahomes level, and he's not. And so it's nice to see an NFL team say, hey, we're going to pay you what you're worth, and we're going to pay you a little bit more than that because we believe in your future and your growth and your development and all that. So win-win is the phrase there for me.
That's awesome. That's great fill in the blanks. We're going to go our next segment here. It's time to spice it up. D minus, you ready?
Spice it up, baby. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's spice it up. Man, I hate that commercial so much.
Hey, but I can help you out with that one though. So before we get to our top 5 today, we're brought about Spice It Up. Spice It Up actually gonna be in Austria today, y'all, from 12 to 7. I'm pretty sure Joe already know what Spice It Up truck. They're gonna be at Legion Park for the Juneteenth Fest. B103 is gonna be their radio station out here in Atlanta. But he would be at Legion Park. It's 5514 Austell Powder Springs Road in Austell, Georgia, from 12 to 7. Go out there, holler at your boy. I'm gonna probably go out there when I leave off the show. And
I'm going.
We'll be out there at the park. Y'all come by and say holler at your boy. But he'll be out there today from 12 to 7 out there in Austell, Georgia, at Legion Park. It's free entry, free limited parking. So first come, first serve the parking. But he will definitely be there. Come out, support, spice it up, bring your kids. It's gonna be nice, and we're gonna have a good time. But this week's top 5, brought to you by Spice It Up. I thought it was real cool to put Jerry West into this thing, man. Rest in peace, Jerry West, man. So I thought about putting him for top 5, his top 5 accomplishments of his career, even as GM or player. So I thought about let's do the top 5 with the top 5 accomplishments, greatest accomplishments for Jerry West.
All right. This week's top 5, the 5 greatest accomplishments Jerry West. D-Minus, what you got coming in at number 5?
Number 5, I got, this is part of the GM type thing, how he assembled the super team for the Golden State Warriors. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think it's the super team thing, so I like that as his number 5.
And welcome to the show, Mr. Teddy TKO. Did you do it?
What's up?
Did you do a top 5?
I looked at it, and I'm gonna be honest, guys. I know about Jerry West. Rest in peace to the great Jerry West. I don't think I really know. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't want to look up Google Facts just to be putting things there. No respect to him. However, I do know that he was a multiple-time champion with the Lakers with Elgin Baylor back in the day. And he also was a big contributor in Shaq and Kobe being together and a lot of other things with Memphis Grizzlies and so forth. So I didn't have a list like that. Yeah. However, R.I.P. to Jerry West.
Yeah,
it's all good, man. We can have you sit down there and look pertinent. At number 5, Mike, what do you got for Jerry West's accomplishments?
I actually put his same thing as D- is assembling Golden State because just Klay Thompson and some of these other guys are great, but being able to find Steph Curry and Steph Curry being who he is, because D-, you probably remember when Steph Curry came out of Dayton.
Davidson, yep.
He looked like a 14-year-old boy.
Yes, he did.
And where he is now in his career as going down as the best 3-point shooter we've ever seen, and being just like having a high basketball IQ, can pull up from anywhere, logo included, doesn't matter. And so, that's my number 5.
At number 5, and if y'all listen to the whole list I have here, it's going to seem like this should be a lot higher. 25,192 points, 6,238 assists, 5,366 rebounds, and 932 games. Enough said. Yeah. D- at number 4, what was Jerry West's greatest accomplishment in your
it was kind of similar to yours. He third player to reach 25,000 points behind only Wilt and Oscar at the time. And you're talking about Wilton Oscar, one of the top players in history. So I like him to be the third player for the 25,000 points. I got him for number 4. Spice it up.
Mike, what you got at number 4?
My number 4 is it's kind of just a nod to Jerry West, the player, and just recognizing some of the accomplishments, which include 14-time All-Star, 10-time first NBA team, won the 69 Finals MVP, and won the 72 NBA title. Listen, any guy in the NBA at any point in history, if they had those things added to their resume, they would be more than happy about that. So that's my number 4.
At number 4, I just think in 2002 when he left the Lakers to go to the Grizzlies and then took them to their first playoff berth. Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah.
I was looking at the lineup that the Grizzlies had. I had to look up most of the people on there because there was no stars, to be honest with you. Just in my world, there was no stars. Jerry, great job. Great job. D-Midas, at number 3, what do you got going on for Jerry West's greatest accomplishments?
Number 3, being called Mr. Clutch. And
I mean, come on.
I mean, Mr. Clutch, I mean, like, that's enough said right there, what he did for the NBA as a player.
Facts.
You know?
Facts. Mike?
My number 3 was the hitting that benchmark of that 25,000 points in an era where there was a lot of great defenders. It's not like today's era where anybody and everyone can drive the paint and not have to worry about anything. If Jerry West thought he was going to drive the paint in the era that he played in, he probably would have had a couple hospital stays. And so just being able to score and hit that benchmark of that 25,000 point mark is quite an accomplishment in my book, given the era.
So a lot of people don't know who Jerry West is and don't even know what he looks like. They just know he's on the basketball. He doesn't look like a huge guy. My number 3, he holds the record for averaging the most points per game in playoffs, 46.3 points per game in 1972. Get it straight. Okay, we're talking about everybody that's played after him. We're talking about the Shaqs, the Kobes, the Michaels, everybody. Nobody ever averaged 46.3 in any playoff game series.
And that's an average. That's an average.
Yeah, that's 46.3 points per game averaged for the whole series, not just 7 games. This is back in the day, the playoffs. He averaged 46.3 points per game in the playoffs. God,
that's crazy. That's crazy.
D-Midas, what you got? Number 2.
Number 2, brought you by Spice It Up. I don't know if anybody ever done this after him, but he won an MVP finals on a losing team.
He's the only player to ever do that.
Only player to do that on a losing team. I don't think it's ever been done before lately, have it? No.
That's my number 2 as well.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, in 1969, he was voted the Finals MVP and played on the losing team.
On a losing team.
Only player to ever win an MVP and be on a losing team. Mike, what's number 2?
My number 2 is kind of it's the benchmarks for anyone who wants to be great in any professional sport, and that it's getting that Hall of Fame nod. You know,
no doubt.
That's kind of like a after you put everything that you can put on the table, that's the league and your peers looking back at you and saying, "Hey, good job, you deserve this." And so for him to be recognized in that way, you know, a lot of people get in the Hall of Fame, right? But the way that he did it was just a little bit different than everybody else. And, you know, Jerry West wasn't this physical specimen that you see nowadays. Nice. You know, he's not LeBron, you know, a walking NFL tight end playing basketball, you know? So, so it's cool to see and, you know, feather in his cap for that.
He looked like every guy that played on the Indiana Hoosiers team in the movie. In the movie Hoosiers. He looked like every one of them white boys.
He looks like every white dude I've seen playing basketball at the YMCA on a Saturday morning.
Exactly. Facts. And D-Midas, what is number 1, baby?
I mean, come on. I think everybody number one is this. You the logo of the NBA. Who else can say that? That's the logo. Brought to you by Spiced Up. That's my number one, the logo.
I'm going to elaborate on the logo because I thought, and this is my basketball fanness. I knew Jerry West was on the basketball when I picked up my first basketball. They told me he was. After Michael Jordan, I was really, really worried that Jordan was going to take him off the ball. But then when Kobe died, I was extremely worried that Kobe was going on the ball. The fact that Jerry West stayed on that ball through Jordan and Kobe, that's the number one accolade for me, brought to you by Spice It Up. Mike, what you got?
Okay, it's 100% the logo. When I started filling out this list, I was like, okay, accomplishments. I'm like, well, he's a logo. Let's put that in number one. Didn't think longer than 2 seconds about it. Immediately, the logo just went to the number one spot. You know, when I was a kid, I didn't find out that Jerry West was on the logo until I was much older. And then someone had brought it up to me. He's like, hey, that's not just like a Google stock image of a basketball player, actual person.
Right.
And I was like, well, who is it? They're like Jerry West. I'm like, who the heck is Jerry West? I think I was talking to my uncle. He's like, go do your homework. I was like, all right.
That's
and so I went and checked it out. And I was 100%. I was like, this man is deserving of the logo. And so it's cool to see. And that on your resume is in a class of its own. You're like, oh, by the way, I'm the NBA logo. If you're ever applying for a job and you say I'm the logo, it's like, okay, sweet, cool. You can do whatever you want at that point.
Yeah, your job's your job.
And DC, just elaborate on that real quick. When we talk about the GOAT of the NBA, his name don't come up as much. Why is that?
I think that's because he's the logo. He's the logo. I don't think you can be both.
How you feel about
just
that?
Being honest, you know what? Let's write that down.
I would say personally, I don't think to say being the clutch is different than being the greatest of all time, in my opinion. When you are relied on, when your team needs you in those times to dig them out of tough situations, and you always have an answer. I think that's different. So that's also like Bill Russell. Nobody, or let's say our grandparents would say Bill Russell's the greatest of all time because they've seen him accomplish 9 out of 11, right?
Right.
So
something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I think, yeah. So when you look at that, I think being the greatest of all time to play the game is different than being the most clutch in those situations. So I think that's the difference.
Facts. All right, we're going to say goodbye to Mike. Mike has house stuff to do. Mike, tell everybody who you are, where we can find you, and we'll shut you out of here.
You can just find me on Twitter, just my first and last name on Twitter, complaining about how the Sonics are still not back in Seattle. So that's pretty much all my Twitter feed is. So you can see me there complaining about that. Also talking about how the Mariners are in first place in the AOS by like
Let's go. Hey, I got to ask you something now. The Mariners are in line to get Guerrero Jr. What do you think about that?
I'm down
There's only
for
4
it
teams.
because our first baseman just he got hit by a pitch, but where did it hit him? In his knee or somewhere? I don't know, but broke a bone and he's gonna be out for a hot minute. So we're kind of first base by committee at this point, and we called up some guys from some of our prospects and stuff like that. So it would be, I know Guerrero's not having a great season, but maybe if you give him a fresh start, he might do something.
That's right.
But he's not going to have this season every year. So if they can get him, then that'd be sweet. I know we're tied to Luis Roberts from Chicago as well. So I don't know. You just spend some money.
Him, bro.
Hey, spend some LA Dodgers money. That's all I care about.
There we go. All right, Mike, be good. We'll see you down the road. Be good.
All right, guys.
All right, so we're going to the next segment. It's brought to you by Blue Moon Pizza. Let's go. Teddy, sing that song, baby.
Oh, man. That's a bit.
So, hey, D minus. What do you think the chances are we get caught for that one?
Look, that might be a song though, DC.
So, Teddy, I don't know if you know what happened. I don't know if you saw the beginning of the show, but you know that the entrance music to the Chicago Bulls that we used to use to start our show?
Yeah.
Someone actually wrote that shit.
Really?
Yeah. And it's a professional group. You ever heard of the Alan Parsons Project?
Yeah, I heard it.
They actually wrote that for the Chicago Bulls, and our video got muted last week when I posted on YouTube, and I didn't know why. So I go in, I'm reading the details, and the Alan Parsons Project, who is a group from the 70s, 70s, 54 fucking years ago, wants to shut us down because we're keeping your shit relevant. We're not, they just wanted to get paid. So we're not using that no more, and we're sorry. I don't understand that shit. I really don't understand that shit.
I don't either. It's like I had the same thing happen to me. I didn't realize one of my matches on my company side recently was asking me. I mean, it was muted the whole time. And so it was the same thing. I didn't know because
your music.
Entrance music. Again, they're entering the ring. So how are they doing anything? And I've seen other companies do it. So I'm like, how are they getting past that?
Right.
All you gotta do is pay.
Yeah,
I already found out. I asked about that, Teddy, because I know we talked about. We're in our fight segment here anyway, so we can talk about this.
Yeah.
Because DC and D minus and Teddy, we're gonna have a ring. Okay, we are gonna be down the road. This is gonna happen. I've envisioned it. I've talked to Teddy a lot. I see things working. I've talked to D minus about it. We will have a ring, and you will see a BFAM event coming up. I'm telling you, just look forward to it. I know it's coming. So. Along that lines, where was I going with this? I just drew a complete blank.
You was talking about how we're taking the music and all that stuff.
The music. So I went and looked that up because I want entrance music, right? You can actually buy the day. You can buy a day pass to Sony Music. Once you go to Sony Music, you got such a huge list of music you can use, and then you can use that for your events. Because me and D minus are going to have events coming up down at City of Smyrna, so I had to look up some shit.
Right.
What we have to do is we have to pay this little fee, and it ain't that much.
That's fine.
We pay the fee, and then you can use it, and you have the rights to use it. I just don't understand. So the Alan Parsons Project wrote a song that's not being used anymore. The Chicago Bulls do not come out to this. So this song is pretty much irrelevant. It has no words. Okay? Why can't we use it? Why can't we keep it alive?
I can understand, again, in this modern era, me being an artist of what I do, I think everything that I do, I should get paid for. So I think to a lot of degrees it's fair because if you're looking at it from a money side, and again, that's all they're looking at, I got to get paid for what I work for. So it sucks. It just, I hate it so much to be like, why don't the actual thing like YouTube pay for it? Because then it won't be so much of a problem. You're monetizing everything. Not talking down, of course. But I don't get it.
I agree with you 100%.
I don't get it. Yeah.
I agree 100%. So my story for tonight, Kunta, like we said, he's in Kansas. I know he's not doing no boxing or fighting. Hopefully not. You said he was at his wife's family's. No fighting today, Kunta. No fighting. Tonight is Clash at the Castle, and Drew McIntyre is on his home field to fight against Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship. So, D minus, we had talked earlier, and I'm going to get Teddy earlier about the fill in the blank question. So I'll go to you on this one. How do you see this one going down? Because I didn't do no research. I'm going to let you guys tell me how this is going to happen. So I'm going to get your opinion first, and hopefully Teddy's ain't yours.
This is going to be kind of an interesting match here, man. I think, and I haven't made a decision who's going to win yet, but I think I'm leaning toward Damian Priest retaining. They had a match on Monday Night Raw, I think was Ben Balor going against Drew McIntyre. And if Drew win, then the Judgment Day going to be barred from ring. Now, the thing I see in this match happening, Carlito is not part of Judgment Day right now. Think about it.
Mm.
He hasn't been an official member of Judgment Day. Now, I feel like Carlito's going to interfere in that match some kind of way and make Damian Priest win. Because I still think Drew McIntyre and CM Punk is still the match everybody wants to see.
Right.
Now, I hate that Drew McIntyre probably won't win in his hometown, which I'm rooting for him, but I don't see Damian Priest giving up the belt so fast right now. I don't know. What do you think about it, Teddy?
I had to agree with you on so many levels. Now, I would say, man, Drew is not an underdog in this by any stretch of the imagination. No. He should win this match.
Right.
However, if we're going to be honest, it's like to say WWE does not like people winning in their home country.
That's a fact.
I'm cool with that.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. That's but they'd like to make it look like you're going to match. Like they put all this stuff up. Oh, he's returning to his home country.
Right.
That's always a fake. I've watched that part.
Yes, sir. And then also, too, one thing that in our business is that sometimes you got to let the fans go home mad or upset. You got to let them do it. It can't always be a hooray, our greatest guy won, because then you know the main event, the good guy's going to win.
Right.
So you have to create, again, not a state of people know what the scene of it should be rather than what's going to happen next. Because like you're right, I think the title is not necessary for CM Punk and Drew McIntyre right now. That's irrelevant to how good they're going at this battle that's about to go down. So I think Damian Priest will retain. I did not know about the Carlito part, and I liked it that you added that. That was very good that you observed that, because I didn't think about that. So that is one thing that can help maybe get Damian Priest trust to eventually get over on him later. So you know it's always something.
Oh yeah, you know something.
Yeah, we always find a scraggler along when things are going good for you. So you find that one guy want to jump along when things are going up. You got to watch that guy. So just because he's with you when you up ain't gonna be the same reason cause you when you're going down.
That's true too. But another thing, it might be CM Punk might screw him because CM Punk might come back, to that thing. So
I think it'll be more of a distraction. I don't think he's gonna get involved because I think him being out there alone is the music gonna hit. He's coming down there just to mess with him. He may be on commentary just to be seen, get that TV time. But yes, something's gonna go down with that, which I think would be awesome. But that can cause a lot for Drew too. I think that'd be great.
So D-, your story is not from the same thing from the fill in the blanks, is it?
No.
Okay, good. So Teddy, tonight at the I Quit match between Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles, I said that AJ Styles was going to win by choking out Cody Rhodes' wife. now, just feel it for a minute. Feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Could it be right?
Absolutely not.
All right, D-, I know our friendship level now. See, you know why I asked you that? I felt like D-, you know how your friends are being too nice to you when you're fucking way off? I kind of felt earlier in the show that D- was being a really good friend to me when I said that thing.
No.
D-, hey, we good friends, bro. Hey, you don't gotta defend yourself now. It's proven now.
Let me say this, Teddy. So what I told him, I said, it's funny he said that answer because the last match I seen with an I Quit match was Roman Reigns against Jey Uso.
Right.
And which Roman Reigns had was it Jimmy in the some kind of submission?
Yeah, his brothers.
Made Jay say I quit.
Yeah.
Remember? So I said that don't sound too bad of an idea what DC was saying about him choking his wife out. But I mean the scenario is the same, but I don't see that happening though.
It's an awesome idea. It's just not this time in society. No. Like, I don't think that's acceptable for WWE to go that far with it. No. Like, if she was performing, let's just say she actually was on TV more and they was already building on that, then I can see it, yes. But to randomly do it, my first question would be, why is she in Scotland?
Right.
Like, then I'd be like, why
it's his wife, man. It's his wife.
But she's at more shows than just to show her.
I'm going to ask you a question. You know what? What are you going to do when you're watching tonight and you see her in the crowd?
See, now there you go.
Okay, if you see her in the crowd, you better text me.
Yeah, something going on there. You are absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Because I mean, why
Just
would she
tell
be
you.
out there? Yeah, because I never. Even she defended her title before. She don't be out there.
So she has no reason to be there.
No, she can be in the back, but no reason to be ringside. No.
Okay.
Or even like a seat in their ring. No, she should not be in the front row of the thing. Absolutely.
She should not be on camera.
No.
Okay.
So what's AJ Styles them partners? His tag team partners. What's their name?
OC.
So the only way I can see that happen in DC, the OC about to come down there, hold Cody Rhodes, and then AJ about to go over there and get his wife, pull out there and do something crazy. But I don't see Cody losing the belt, man. I don't see him losing.
No, yeah, he ain't losing. No.
I mean, if Cody loses the belt, doesn't that bring Roman back?
No.
And that's what everybody wants.
No, Roman's away from the belt at this point. He's not going to touch that belt. He ain't no title shot because if he's in there, he has to win. So he already did the favor.
When Roman come back, he's coming back to get his group back. But he's going to have a feud with the other bloodline right now. So
right. He's far away from his title. He ain't going to be nowhere near for the next year or two.
All right, D-Mind, what's your combat story today?
So my story is this. It's the Devontae Davis Tank and thing. Is that fight still going on? Because I'm hearing rumors that fight been canceled. Is that?
Oh no, it's on. It's on. As far as I know,
okay.
It's on.
Right.
It's on.
Okay, y'all answered. I'm done with that. But my quick thing right here. I'm to the point now. I'm getting kind of frustrated with the tag team title thing on SmackDown. I'm trying to figure out what are they doing with that storyline, because I know I like, Waller and Austin Theory. What's the storyline behind that? Because I'm getting tired of that title being like it's not even relevant right now, the tag team belt. I know you might have a different opinion on it, but I'm kind of getting frustrated with it a little bit.
I think once you develop, say now they separated the division. Now you got to take the time to build the players in the game. So now you're trying to build up the roster to make it credible. So to really say you have to put the tag champs out there to be seen. You know who they are. However, in the meantime, that's why they're having babyface tag teams trying to work on getting a good one to heat up. So if the crowd's really going with DIY, I think that'd be the one they want to push. But I think, too, name more tag teams on SmackDown you can really recall right now that's babyface.
Right.
And that's the problem. You have to establish the division. I think WWE doing an amazing job with Bianca and Jade doing that for the women's division.
Right.
They are setting the mark. So whoever beats them is going to be really over. They're going to be really hated. And why? You want heat. The thing about wrestling, I think, sometimes is when people do this concept of want to play, I want them to hate me, but I want you to like me, which people say the word tweener. I hate that in wrestling. That don't make money. And then don't make logical sense. Because if I'm a fan, I want to see a problem. Why are these two people going against each other? I don't want to see two homies having a great fun match in here. You can have that occasionally if something's going that way. But I think that's the problem with some organizations, and WWE's taking the time to build a division rather than hot shot in the belt to who's the new flavor of the month. Give me a reason why I need to invest my time in this babyface tag team. Because the thing like with Cody Rhodes, and I said it was going to happen when Roman lost to him, you're losing the fans that want to see the climb of the babyface champ, not the success of a champion. If he's happy, he's smiling, then I'm going to tune away because he's not going through nothing. So this I quit match today for Cody is just another match, and that's the problem. I think if you don't do the right thing with a babyface tag team and you just throw them the belts, it can hurt that tag team better than build them up. And I think that's what they're trying to do is build the divisions.
Right.
Yeah. I know that was long-winded, but
no, that's cool.
All right. Hey, nah. That's called information right there, man. So we got a couple minutes here extra. I want to ask you guys. Dana White is really pissed off at Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor pulled out of the Saudi fight, and it's a couple days away. So And he said, I'm getting tired. He got on a podcast the other night and said he's getting tired of Conor McGregor ducking out due to injuries right before the fight happens. Do you think Dana White will give Conor McGregor another chance to fight after this? Or is this it? I mean, if Dana says you don't fight, you don't fight. This is a third fight that Conor's pulled out of, though.
I would say this right here. It's like, I don't think Conor's committed. So, number one, I knew this fight wasn't going to happen.
Me either.
I knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew this had a better chance of being canceled than Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, put it like that. So, I know Mike want to fight. I just think now you pointed at the contract weeks ago. I'm like, that was the problem. But, yeah, I think Dana, that's his boy. That's his cash cow. That's like if he has GSP. He loves GSP.
Oh, man.
He loves him like he's his son. He loves John Jones. God knows that's my favorite fighter of all time in combat sports. But that man had issues, and he allowed him to keep coming back. So I think with injury, if he's willing to step in there, also, too, that's McGregor's body. If he don't feel like fighting, that's on him. He's still making money. So I think that's more of a Dana thing. You know what I mean?
All facts. Hey, so we got 4 minutes. Let's do this. In boxing world, we're going to make a top 5, but here's the rule. Once somebody names somebody, you can't put that person back in your list. Okay, let's make a top 6. And Kenny, you're going to get 6 and 3. D, you're going to get 5 and 2, and I'm going to get 4 and 1. So I've got the hardest job because you guys can take 5 people out before I get to it. Okay, so Teddy, if you were making a list of the 6 greatest boxers of all time, who's number 6?
Tommy Hearns.
Nice. I'm going to actually write this down. D-, who would be the 5th boxer?
Greatest of all time?
Greatest of all time.
I like my boy Roy Jones, man.
No, Roy Jones. And you know what? I bet you he would get more votes. He'd be second as far as commentating goes. Because I actually like George Foreman's commentating. I know nobody else did, but I just liked watching George tell it like it was in like a Grape Ape style, I don't know what it is. Hearns, Jones. I'm going to put Leonard there.
Sugar Ray? I thought about him too, yeah.
Yeah, so Hearns, Jones, Leonard is our first round. So, Teddy, you've only got one more pick left in the top 3. Who do you want to be 3?
I respect Hearns, but I hate him like Isaiah Thomas. This is one that's going to trump him. Marvin Hagler, number 3 greatest fighter of all time. Let's go. Marvelous Marvin Hagler had him beat. I don't care. I'm still glad he retired after that fight.
There's some shade in there. You see that? You feel there's some smoke there somewhere. You feel that?
I do not like that, bro, but I respect.
We're talking about the 80s and 90s here, man. That's 40 years ago. He's still feeling that.
He's like Isaiah Thomas and Michael Jordan to me in that division. That's how I feel. Hagler versus Jordan. He's Isaiah. That's how I feel.
All right, D-. Who's number 2?
Man, I hate to say his name, but I don't even like him like that, man. Like,
well, then don't say it. It's your list.
But I mean, it's facts though. I mean, you got to put Floyd in there some kind of way, but I don't. I really hate it.
This is all welterweight and like lightweight. You notice that?
Because my number 1 is heavyweight, but I'm not gonna even. I didn't get called.
Well, you put him there. Put him there then. Because my
number 2 would be Mike Tyson.
Yeah, that'd be that's my number 1.
Well,
yeah,
that was
number 1 for me.
You know what I mean? That's my number 1. Sorry.
That's not my number 1. My number 1 is the Golden Boy. I thought he was Oscar De La Hoya in his prime and day. I could watch him box all day long.
Okay,
just
we
like
got to do
watching
this by
box.
weight divisions because this ain't right. We love
I know.
Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. Muhammad Ali didn't make the list.
So hold up, wait a
left
minute.
out
Wait a
Muhammad.
minute. Hold up. I'm about to do this for a top 5 next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This gonna have to be because I thought I did boxing, but evidently I didn't do boxing. So
We left out Muhammad.
I mean,
Ali.
are you gonna? You got to separate it by divisions, though.
Yeah.
This
you
is
got
hard.
to. Yeah, it is.
This
I
is
mean-
super hard. I mean, if you don't put some lightweights on there, some of them other ones are gonna kill them.
Yeah, because you reckon Oscar would be a top 5 on my
Yeah.
list.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, top 3.
There's
So
no
what-
way.
So Oscar and all them, is they middleweight or is that be considered?
I mean, Oscar floated from middle fly. What's above flyweight?
I think he was flyweight. He came up to light heavy. I mean,
Yeah,
lightweight.
Yeah, he went up 2 or 3 divisions. I know he was. I mean, I just liked watching him box. He was fun to watch.
Tenacious, man. Like when he wanted to, once he let those hands go, he was on fire, man. He had that crowd going crazy. I love him.
And a great, like you said, a great performer.
Yes, he was a showman. And
yeah,
then
he's
Sugar
definitely a
Shane
showman.
Mosley.
Sugar Shane Mosley, that's a
of
great
my
one.
favorite.
Yeah.
Oh
Sugar
man, I
Shane.
grew up loving that guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
D minus, have fun making a top 5 out of that. We just named like 20 more balls. Yeah, have fun with that one. That's going to be awesome.
I'm about to figure that out.
You're going to have to play with that shit. Okay.
Yeah.
It's time to go to our next segment. It's brought to you by McIntyre's Bakery. And Kutha's not here. He's in Kansas. Click them heels, girl. Why don't we get banned for that one? You know, I'm on this band thing. I just don't understand why would you?
Before they do come into it.
Now check this out. Y'all know my theme music, right? Like mine.
Yeah.
They never reached out and said anything. So
Well,
that's
it's
odd
not
to
ba-
me.
It's not anybody's music then. It's not. Who is it?
But like a friend of mine made it, right? But
Okay.
they never asked me about it, which is great. But I just think that's really weird. Y'all never asked, like, hey, you don't own the rights to that. Well, you never asked me.
Okay.
I got
Well, there you go. Now you're getting famous. They're probably going to call you tonight. You just set yourself up.
Right. And I'm ready because I got all the information. That's why I'm like, please hit me up about my thing. So I'm waiting.
This segment is brought to you by McIntyre's Bakery. Simply the best since 1947, 1184 Concord Road in Smyrna, Georgia. Call 770-434-3115 for special orders, donuts, breads, and cakes made fresh daily. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to say this one more time. Legion Park. 5514 Austell Powder Springs Road, 12 to 7. Come down and see your boy DC because I'm going. There is no way I'm not going down to see Joe and spice it up. I know. I live right around the corner from there. I'm so stoked.
That's in your backyard, man.
I am so stoked. I was going to grill today. My girl just hit me up. She's like, are we still grilling today? I said, not for lunch. Not for lunch. No, we're not. Week 10 is in the books. And you know what? Let's do something here. Week 10 is in the books. And congratulations out to Teddy TKO. Teddy TKO went 5-1 while the whole rest of the panel, everybody, went 4-2. That makes him last week's big winner. There you go, Teddy. Love showtime.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I seen that Sunday.
Little FaceTime. So the new standings are, and you know, D minus.
Yeah, man. I got a
D minus. Teddy is coming. I had to go back and look at some old shows. Teddy's fucking coming, D.
Hey man,
Yeah.
I want to do a recount because I don't like how Teddy sneak up on me like this, man. Because
Yeah,
I think too.
I mean,
So I need a recount or something, man.
when I went back and looked at it all, and I went back to the posts on Facebook, and I'm like, Teddy was down there, and
Yes.
all right. So, anyways,
Yeah.
after week 10, here's the new standings. DC is at 45 and 15 at 75%. D minus and
Yeah.
Sir.
and Teddy TKO
Yes,
are
sir.
at 40 and 20 at 67%. King Kuta is at 39 and 21 at 65%. The Sheriff is at 38 and 22 at 63%. And Hanif is at 36 and 24 at 60%. The guests, which are Mike and KJ and Kyle now, are at 17 and 7 at 70%.
Hey, DC, I tell you what, DC, this is getting tight now, man. It's not.
Yeah.
It's getting tough.
This is, you know what I am right now. I am the Get Money Sports is the National League East, and unfortunately, I'm the Phillies. Unfortunately, I'm the Phillies. Okay, where I'm up here, but I know they're all down there and they're great teams. I know the Braves are down there; they're good teams, and the other teams are all right. But there's teams down there. But if you look at the National League East, the Braves are 10 games back, and then it's 11, 12. And 14 games back. That's exactly what we are on Get Money Sports, except for it's not 10 games, it's only 5 games. D minus, are you a little nervous now?
A little bit, man. A little bit, because Teddy came out of nowhere. Like, I seen Teddy down 4th, 5th. He was down there chilling. And all of a sudden, I'm looking at him. I'm looking at the standings because I wasn't here last week. And so I'm looking, I'm like, where the hell Teddy come from? Didn't even see him coming.
And we're going to hear this next week. So what do you think Kuta's going to say? He's going to claim fuckery. There's no way that Teddy passed him on the week he's in Kansas. Come on, D.
Yeah.
We know who we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, he one game on the second, though, so he's not bad.
Yeah,
I know, but he's going to claim fuckery. How the fuck did Teddy pass me while I'm in Kansas? What'd y'all do?
He get the least baseball experience out of everyone on this panel.
Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. Kunta does. Kunta does.
Really?
You and Kunta are exactly the same. Exactly.
Okay.
When it comes to baseball experience.
Right.
Yeah. But, Teddy, you're doing research now, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, you're doing a lot. Yeah, don't tell me you're picking colors. Don't tell me your wife's helping. Yeah.
I'm actually looking into some things like pictures and stuff like that.
Like D minus. If he was to look at you and say, "Yeah, my wife's helping me," does this make it worse? That would fuck me up. That would fuck me all the way up. Like right now, I'm not worried. If his wife was helping him and he's winning like this, I am so nervous.
Yeah.
So nervous. Because I don't need that kind of luck against me. All right, so here we go. We're going to go ahead and give you week 11. The games today, I'm going to tell you what Kunta's are. Kunta said Brewers, D-backs, Giants, Nationals, Pirates, Yankees. Again, Brewers, D-backs, Giants, Nationals, Pirates, Yankees. The Sheriff, he said Padres, Pirates, D-backs, Rangers, Twins, Reds. Again, Padres, Pirates, D-backs, Rangers, Twins, Reds. D-minus, you know what? I went 4-2. I'll go first this time. I'm not going to make you go first. Feelings just a little bit there. Teddy, I can't believe you caught up like that quick. You caught up pretty damn quick. Hopefully you're putting a couple dollars on this on Prize Picks.
I know, right?
I'm just saying. $40 apparel. I went 4-2, my worst week in like 6 weeks. But I got good news for y'all. The Braves are going to win today.
That's a day game, DC.
Hold on a second. Let me tell you why.
I'm not buying it.
I'm never touching them for the day.
Hold on. I'm going to tell you why. This is awesome because I can see them in the green room laughing and nobody else can see them. It's awesome because D-minus is rolling. Teddy's got this shit-eating grin on his face. He's like, D, I'm winning now, but not dragging me. I'm telling you, the Braves are going to beat the Rays today, and this is why. It's going to be 100 degrees. At least at 4 o'clock. I was on the field yesterday between the shows. It was 97 degrees on the field at 5:15 yesterday.
Dang.
Field temperature. Okay. There's one thing I know about the hot Atlanta Braves. we play really good when it's hot outside. And it showed last night 7-1. We haven't won a game 7-1 and I don't know how long. Chris Sale pitched a great game. I think the Heat is going to show our first 2-game win streak off the 5-game losing streak, and we're going to beat the Rays today. The Braves will win, and it's not quite a day game because it starts at 4:10. That's almost early supper. Okay, so Braves, Twins, Dodgers, Pirates over the D-backs. Pirates over the Rockies, and the D-backs over the White Sox. And the one game that I'm telling you, money line, you want to make some money today? Shota's pitching against the Cardinals. Oh, my God, the Cardinals have a 5-game winning streak. Shota is 7-1 with a 1.96 ERA, and we're only 1 month away from the All-Star break. This kid's phenomenal. Cubs, Twins, Braves, Dodgers, Pirates, D-backs. D-minus, when you see your Cash App up there, you can talk to us.
All right, I gotta redeem myself. Even though I was 4-2 last week, I need me a parlay to this. I think I haven't hit a parlay this year yet, so I feel that this one gonna be one today. Get with your boy. I'm gonna go with the Twins as my first pick over the A's. Let me go with the Guardians over the Blue Jays. Give me the Giants over the Angels. Milwaukee Brewers over the Reds. Give me the Dodgers over the Royals. And, of course, I got to rock the Pittsburgh Pirates to beat the Rockies. So that's the Pirates, Dodgers, the Brewers, the Giants, the Guardians, and the Twins. I feel a parlay tonight. I feel it.
I didn't hear you say Braves.
I'm not falling for that, DC. I'm sorry. I ain't falling for it. Just because you picked them? Nope. I ain't falling for it.
Ain't no way.
Nope. I'm good. But thank you, though.
Right.
Thank you.
All right. Teddy TKO.
What's up, baby? How y'all doing?
Hey, just has gone 5-1 4 weeks in a row now.
Hell yeah. I ain't know
What
that.
the hell, yeah.
I'm really gonna play surprise picks today. So let's get this money. First thing, I'm going to go ahead and pick the Twins over the A's. I'm going to pick the Guardians over the Blue Jays. Taking the Nationals over the Mariners.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know, man. I didn't want to really touch that game, but I was like, got that one. I got the Yankees over the Red Sox. That National was going to be my one. Watch. I got the Pittsburgh Pirates over the Rockies. And I have the D-backs over the White Sox.
All right, one more time.
So we got the Twins, Guardians, Nationals, Yankees, Pirates, and the D-backs.
And there you have it right there. Teddy, you didn't say Braves.
Of course I didn't. That's it. That's been my one every single week sometimes. That's that one.
All right, people.
2 of the 3 been the Braves.
All right, people. I tried to warn them. Let's go to our next segment here. It's called I'm Just Saying. Hey, Teddy,
I'm just saying.
Teddy, before I go to I'm Just Saying, are you sure you don't want to swap no picks?
Absolutely positive.
You said you were worried about that Nationals pick. If you lose the Nationals game and the Braves win, you know you could have hit your parlay.
I know it's going to happen, but I'm not doing it. We'll leave him alone today.
You're going to have to explain that to me. Wait a minute. You know it's going to happen, but you don't want to do it.
Because I feel like I'm a jinx sometimes. And like when I'm feeling good on myself, everything around me sometimes want to crumble. You know what I mean? That's like when Carolina lost to Villanova that one year off of that half-court shot. You know, like the little things. So I'm just going to be quiet, sit back and leave the Braves alone right now. Let them cook a little bit. Let them cook.
All right. We're going to, I'm Just Saying, brought to you by God. Let's go.
That's like I'm a jinx.
I'm just saying, brought to you by One Coms. They have 10 lengths, 9 girths, and over 60 sizes available. Download the free fit kit from website, print it out, cut it out, measure for the perfect size. I'm just saying, if you can make this happen, get your girl to do it. It's always foreplay. Shit. Hey, baby, come here. Measure my shit.
That's it, man. That's it.
Yeah, measure my shit. Measure my shit. I want to know where I'm really at here. And then don't forget to stick your chest out a little bit when you're doing it.
Do the Winnie the Pooh, get a shirt on. Yeah, the bottom down.
Oh, man. I'm telling you what. I heard something last night. Winnie the Pooh and that whole Christopher Robin thing. Y'all know the racist properties behind Tigger? Okay,
we kind of not as close an association to the word.
Okay, so check it out. Okay, exactly. Okay, so they're showing me this thing, and it's Rabbit. Okay, and Rabbit's in the garden, and he goes, "I can't stand you Tiggers. All you Tiggers do is dance and bounce and party around all day. I can't stand Tiggers." Mr. A.A. Milne, and this is not, I'm just saying, this is just a freebie. How the fuck did you get to stay on the shelves when we're pulling other books off the shelves? This one of my black friends brought it up on his show last night, and I'm looking there going, I've watched that a million times. I've never saw that relation, and it's not even kind of close. It's not even somewhat close. It's so racist. Anyways, Winnie the Pooh fucked everything up for me, man.
But here's the thing, too. Here's the thing. It's a children's book, all right? If the child don't see it as a problem, then we as adults shouldn't see it as a problem. It's also, too, like, a lot of things about who you are as culture is taught by, again, if your family don't teach you, somebody's going to teach you. So in my home, we teach our daughters who they are, where they come from, their background before they go to school. And if you allow that school to tell you about who you are and what you can and can't say, then you let the school do that because you disinformed your child. I think that's the problem. You need to be there before the school does, because that's the problem today. They're teaching your kid about sex. You need to teach your kid about sex, so you educate them. Don't let the school system do it.
So you don't think that if a black child read that, they'd take any word association with that ever?
No, I don't think if my daughter was to read that book, no. Because I think that, again, you have to be commonly using that term all the time around your child, too. So,
man, I look and went and read it to make sure it was said right. If you read it just like it is, there's too much word association. I disagree 100%. Because children,
I think like a 7-year-old does not know that unless, like, again, they're hearing it all the time. I don't use that word in my house a lot. I say it, but it's like, again, not in the presence of them. Okay. Commonly, I'll find a way to swerve it. You get what I mean? So a lot of things they hear. Yeah, I just think a lot of times, too, it's like what they're subjected to when they're with their friends at school, riding the school bus. I done seen or heard kids watching porn on the school bus. And we talking about, a first grader being on the bus with a fifth grader. So that's the problem to begin with. Somebody is like 12 years old sitting around on the same seat as a person that's 7 or 8. Ain't nobody watching that stuff, but it's, you know what I mean? It's
all right, well, that was a free group. I'm just saying, Teddy, what are you just saying? That was a free group when I didn't think it was going to go that deep. We got to come back to that, D.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, in today's society, I'm kind of glad that we're able to see way more than we ever was before when it comes to sports. And I think what Gervonta Davis and Frank Martin is a good example of where someone being raised in one environment is different from a guy in another environment. Tank Johnson upbringing was a little difficult for a lot of people that don't know how he came up in his life. But he grew up, again, learning from street fights, being in situations that a lot of people ain't accustomed to. And that bred him to be a great world champion. That's the road he took. But there's different roads for the same people to be at the same precipice, and that's what's happening tonight when these two take each other on. Just because Frank Martin was born in a different environment, let's say if he was born in the suburbs, what is wrong with that? That means his parents and or his family was able to financially not live in the same conditions that he grew up in. That's nothing to really put down. I'm not saying that as a diss to Gervonta, but at the same time, I think that there's different levels you can attack somebody than worrying about their parents' financial situation of something they could not control. because a lot of them guys in those suburban areas have been great champions and live great lives, just like people like yourself that had to get it from nothing. I think these two respect each other. However, I think, just sell the fight, it's digging a little low for me, because I think that some people take the way someone speaks and the way they carry themselves and get it misunderstood that you can still get your ass whooped. So tonight, get ready to watch a good fight, because they happen to me all the time. I think people think because of what I look like rather than what I'm saying to them. Don't worry about how I look. Listen to what I'm saying to you. And if you think I speak proper and all that, thank you very much. I'm glad that my mother taught me very well, and I had the education, and I learned how to speak around people when I need to. So thank y'all, and get ready for the fight tonight between Frank Martin and Gervonta Davis. This is going to be a great fight. I got Tank going, and he's going to take the win, and I think maybe the 8th or 9th round, take him to deep waters, with a go to left to the body, like he always done in the previous fights. So it's going to be exciting.
And D-, what are you just saying tonight?
So I don't know if you guys heard about this story on social media. This white woman that came up and just used the N-word so freely. I don't know if y'all seen that. I seen it on TikTok. But she said broke ass N. Right? Well, a lot of people's come to her defense. And the reason they come to her defense, they were saying that she didn't use it derogatively. So I'm like, okay, but you still used it. I try not to use that word sometimes, but it comes off sometimes with the black community. But the lady now has been fired from a job. Whoever they did, the lady, they did some research on the lady. They followed her to her job and all this stuff. She's got fired from her job. And basically, the problem I got with it is that a lot of people's come to her defense saying that, she has a right to use it because she didn't use it as a racist slur. And I'm like, but you used it. So be aware of what you're saying. A lot of things you can say you probably don't mean, but you still said it. But the problem, like I said, the problem I got is the people come to her defense. She shouldn't use the word. Nobody actually use it, even including myself. But it's just crazy how society is now, that it's okay to use racial slurs and everybody thinks it's okay. Just be careful out there, man. I'm just saying.
Big support. I saw that story as well. That's some shit.
Yeah.
It's like why every time people get bored in society and things get like things get lightened up for a while, it's like, hey, let's go jump on black people again.
Yeah.
I swear to God, like every time you turn around, they just keep it's like you keep poking the stick every time. It's like, why? Okay, there's nothing going on. Trump got this and that. Okay, let's go mess with black people.
Yeah. It's facts. Straight facts. Straight facts. I'm just saying, Father's Day's tomorrow. And I heard this story. I was listening to the radio. By the way, come out tomorrow morning to Douglasville. I got a no-tap running at 9 a.m. Check in 10 a.m. Bowl. It's 5 games. Drop your lowest, and it's no-tap. And then people are going to say, is it a handicap? I'm giving you a free pin every frame. If you knock down 9 pins on your first ball, it's a strike. That's called no-tap. So, no, it's not handicap. But it's not scratch either. It's no-tap. Come out, join. And I'm letting you throw your lowest game away. 5 games, drop your lowest. It's no easier, no funner. $60, y'all come out. So, just saying, Father's Day story. Man, I'm telling you right now, I don't understand women. Okay? This is how it went down. A woman has a very, very good job. Very good job. And her husband is a stay-at-home dad. They have 3 kids. He stays at home with them all day, does all the things that a normal wife would do, so he's a stay-at-home husband. She buys him a golf trip for Father's Day to Ireland. I golf. Thank that woman. She says, babe, you work so hard, you take care of the house. I wanted you and your boy, 3 of your guys, to go to Ireland to golf. It's planned out. It's set. He's excited. On Wednesday, her mother calls. I just bought your dad that new black something grill he wants. It's some name brand grill. And we're going to barbecue Father's Day. She goes, oh, cool. Me and the kids are come over. She goes, well, what about your husband? She goes, well, Mom, you know I bought him that golf trip to Ireland. And the mom says, well, he should be hanging out with his family. It's Father's Day. Your dad doesn't have any more years left. Fine. This woman then decides to call her husband and ask him if he'd mind moving the date. You selfish bitch. I'm just saying. You selfish bitch. You chose your mother over me and our marriage. You selfish bitch. I feel, and this is the reason why. You know what the guy said? Sure, honey, anything for you. Let me call my guys and see if we can book it for next week. You selfish bitch. That man's going to have to go stay with your family at a barbecue instead of go golfing in Ireland. Selfish bitch. I'm just saying.
But tell me how you really feel, DC. Shit.
I mean, realistically, man, like you couldn't have grilled out the next week or something. You can
Right.
always go see your father-in-law. Ain't got
That's
nothing to
true.
do with no damn barbecue.
Ain't my fucking dad.
That's what, I mean, you know, no respect. Shout out to you, Mr. Camp. I love you.
I ain't shout out to nobody.
That's a father-in-law, man. Good people.
You know who made you.